Yo, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're back with another tier list, and I'm joined with my father this time.
Yes, George.
Welcome back to the channel, and today we're bringing back the tier list, but this time, rather than doing our players, we thought we'll do transfer targets for Spurs, because, you know, we're in the thick of it. Well, we're middle of January now, still not signed anyone. We're just going to look at targets or players that I've sort of seen circulating around Twitter or from these supposedly tier 1 journalists that we're linked with. And we're going to decide just between us in our own personal opinions, just in order of which players we think are the best to sign, like which ones we'd want to sign the most to which ones we probably want to sign the least, sort of thing. So yeah, I think we might as well just get straight into it. Starting off with the first player is Dybala, Juve centre-back. Your thoughts on him?
I loved him at Ajax. I think
agreed.
That whole Ajax team, though, how we managed to beat them. And we know it's an area, obviously, we have to improve.
Yeah, centre-back, I mean, we've obviously got Romero. I mean, he's been out for a long time. Okay, Dyer and Davis have been doing well this season, especially by their standards, but let's be real. We're trying to aim...
We're trying to get next level.
Yeah, we're trying to get Champions League back to the top.
Davis, and well, both of those have surprised everyone.
Yeah, massively.
Surprised everyone, but still
an area
there's levels we need to go, and Conte's made that absolutely clear.
Yeah, definitely.
That we've got to step up if we want to compete.
Saying that then, Dybala himself, for you, is that like right at the top? Is that absolutely by now? Would he be a good signing?
How old is he? He's still young.
He's still young. I think he's only like 22, 23, something like that. He's a young player.
Only for that reason,
24.
I'm going to go good rather than by now. In that position, we need to start getting experienced players, and Romero's really young as well.
Yeah, he's only like 23 as well, I think.
Yeah, so it's not an area that position you need experience. 27, 28, 29-year-olds is what you need.
Sure.
So goodbye. I wouldn't be upset if we get him. I'd be really happy with him.
Yeah, of course.
But not my top priority.
Okay, you know what? I agree with you in that. I agree. I think he's a great young player, and he's already got he's got a lot of experience for his age.
Yeah.
But I do think you're right in that we've already got Romero as a young centre back who's showing a lot of experience for his age. We kind of need that proper experience in this team, which actually brings us on to our next one on the list, which is De Vrij, Inter Milan centre-back, who is in fact I think 29 years old, and of course, as people will know, has played under Conte. I think we're going for the top one in this one. I'm going to move it straight in there, but seems like a no-brainer to me.
Knows how to works with Conte, knows how, or they know how each other work. The right age, top of his game. What else do we need? That's the kind of player we need.
And you know what I think as well, especially over the last...
You know his contract position. Sorry,
he's got a year and a half left on his contract. That's not too far away,
but it commands a fee.
All right, next one is Uzmane Dembele. Now, we were linked with him right at the beginning of the window because obviously Barcelona having massive financial issues and sort of need to offload players, and he's one of the highest paid players at the club now. If not, in fact, now that Messi and Griezmann are gone, I think he might actually be the highest paid player there.
Okay, so how does that fit in with our wage structure?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how well that would work out. As well as that, he is a very injury-prone player. So again, it's just another young player that had like amazing promise, went for a massive fee.
The only reason I want him is so that we can start singing Dembele.
Yes. It just doesn't feel right not having a Dembele at the club. If I'm thinking about our priorities right now, a winger is not top of our list. I don't personally think it's going to be the right move for us right now. I just
probably
can't
convert him to right wing back.
He probably would convert him to right wing back, but I mean, I don't know how he is defensively, mind, but knowing Conte, he probably would. For me, I don't think it makes sense. I would say average, only because, and that's not me saying he's an average player.
Exactly, I was about to say that.
I feel like this might be a bit misleading. That's not me saying he's an average player. It's more for what we need and what we're looking for. Yeah. I don't think it's necessarily the right move, but I don't think he's a bad player either. So I'll say average. Do you agree?
I got that. It's not like to say it's not.
Yeah, it's not
judging the player is average.
No, it's judging the transfer. Just in what it means. What it means for us.
It's more an upgrade on Bergwijn if Bergwijn moves on.
True. But. Right. So now moving on to a player that we've heard his name a lot the last couple years. Well, it wasn't been now like maybe 2.5 years. Been interested in this player and came this close to signing.
This upsets me so much.
Yeah, and that is Dybala. Now his contract ends in the summer, so that's why this has kind of surfaced recently. He's not renewing his contract, or at least they're not going to look for it for another couple months. So there is a possibility to get him now, slightly cheaper, or we even get him as a free agent in the summer.
What a chip he scored the other day! But
I know. I saw the goal. I saw the goal.
I was like crying when I saw that. It could have been ours.
Okay, today, what are you saying for Dybala?
I want him now.
You want him now?
I want him now.
He's quite versatile in being an attacking midfielder, centre forward, or a striker. Absolutely by now, or just like would be like a very good.
There's a player later that we might be bringing in instead of him.
Yeah, screw it. I think the top still.
Get him now.
I think get him now. Get him now. He's a player that is very versatile.
You're watching Levy, Lewis. Come on.
He could be free this time. Okay, talking about nostalgia, we've got Christian Eriksen, who of course is not allowed to play in the Serie A because of their rules, but he's been training with a team for now, but is obviously still looking for a club, and has rumoured massively today that he's going to come back to the Premier League, and naturally that's going to have him linked back to Spurs. Would you take Christian Eriksen back? This one's a tough one. This one is tough.
I want the Eriksen of old.
Yep.
We're looking for an Eriksen replacement. The only reason I'd probably take him now, he's free and hopefully you'd negotiate a relatively low salary, so definitely a squad player. I'll be interested in your view on this one. I'm really stuck on this one.
I'm stuck on this as well, right? Because I'm torn for one reason, because obviously us being Spurs fans, we're obviously going to naturally think about how good Eriksen was before.
Yeah.
I do feel like a lot of fans are forgetting what he was like in the last year at Spurs.
Exactly. That's the bit that makes me go, no, I'm not jumping at this.
But saying that, I do also think that happened because he was maybe demotivated at Spurs for being there so long and not getting over the line. He's now had his time away, won the Serie A with Inter Milan. Like you said, we have not replaced Eriksen.
Is Uzmane Dembele available?
I want to say good. I want to say just below the top. Only because, like, I think he will be a great addition for Spurs.
It makes business sense.
It makes business sense. He'll be cheap. He's available for free. He's obviously, we know what he can be like. He's played in the Prem before. But there is a big risk. There is a big risk as to whether he's actually going to play to the top level. I think good is probably fair enough. For what we're looking for.
Going more average than good, but okay.
All right, next player.
It's an interesting one.
We've not been necessarily linked heavily, massively, but it's a position that we probably will look to get in the future, and that is a goalkeeper. It's looking like Lloris is going to extend for another year.
Yeah.
But Conte doesn't necessarily seem too happy with Galini. I mean, Galini doesn't look great, and we've got him on like a 2-year loan. We've still got to think of Lloris's replacement for next year. Yeah. Because I doubt he'll make it past that, even if he does extend his contract. But yeah, Dean Henderson is the next one. I think this would be a great signing. One, homegrown, because we know, I think we've only got like one space for a foreign player as things stand, I believe.
Okay.
So we do have to start considering homegrown players, especially if we are trying to move on the likes of Dele Alli and co. I think he's obviously still young, but has already got some experience in Man United. I personally, there was a big period where I thought he deserved to be ahead of De Gea.
He was looking good.
Should be number one. Unfortunately, he got his injury kind of just before the Euros last year, which meant that De Gea went back into the lineup and has actually been really good. So Dean Henderson just can't get into the Man U team right now. Wouldn't necessarily put him right at the top because it's not a must signing right now. It's not a priority.
But I can't see him wanting to leave Man U.
Really?
To join us. To be an understudy at Lloris.
I see what you mean.
He's in exactly the same position as he is at Man U.
I would say just good, not priority.
Way too high. Who do we need to get now? That is not someone we need to get now.
No, but like, would you say...
That could be a summer signing.
But I'm more just saying, like, would it be a good signing if Spurs were to do it now? Actually, you're right, because we don't really need another...
We don't need that now. We need other players, the striker, the defender,
So average then?
Yep.
I think average is
at best.
Alright. Next player is Jessie, the centre midfielder for AC Milan. I think he's one of the few players on this list that I think we've been linked with very heavily. And of course, again, is another free agent in the summer.
So I've seen his name around a lot, but I must admit, I don't know too much about him.
Yeah,
so this is you, George.
No, but this is the thing. Like, I haven't watched AC Milan too much this summer. I've been trying to just keep up with what everyone's saying. I've been trying to do research here and there, but obviously, if I'm not watching them every week, I can't exactly give like a solid opinion. Central midfield is a very, very vital role that we need to get a good player in. We all know the issues with Ndombele, Lo Celso. Højbjerg's not been at his best. Skip been great this season, but is a defensive midfielder. We need a centre mid that can carry the ball and move it all up forward, which I think Jessie can do. This one, I'm torn. I'm so torn. By all accounts, everyone's saying he's looked great all season or looked good all season and would be a great player for us to sign. Only 6 months left. Very low risk in that sense. I just don't know whether he'd be a top signing.
Is he one of the 3 or 4 players that we must get this January?
I'd put him in good. I'd put him in the one below the top. I just don't know enough to make sure that he's like absolutely must sign now. But if any of you disagree, like of course, it's all just everyone's opinions. Let us know in the comment section down below if you think he's an absolutely must buy. I'm sure a lot of people out there probably think so. On to another Juventus player, and it is Kulusevski, if that's how I said it properly. Apologies if I haven't. Over to you, Dan. I'm sure you know so much about it.
I mean, they don't know enough, so no, over to you.
Look, if I'm being real, I think it's going to have to be in the don't know enough category. Everyone talked about him being this sort of like wonder kid for Sweden. Obviously a very young, Paratici would have signed him to Juve to begin with, so clearly has some faith in him there. But I think he's only got 1 goal in the Serie A this year in like 19 appearances. Yes, may have a lot of promise, but hasn't necessarily shown it this season.
I don't want players with promise.
Yeah, we need to fix them. We need to fix them now. I'm just gonna say don't know enough because I don't think either of us know enough to put him in any of the other categories. But if any of you out there obviously think you do know a lot about Kulusevski, then please let us know in the comments section below. All right, Tariq Lamptey. We're linked with him. Obviously, a hefty price tag put against his name. A lot of rumours around about 50 mil, but would obviously inevitably play right wing back for us. I'm just gonna say it now. He's going straight to the top for me. Oh, yeah. I don't know about you. Is that
I was not hesitating. I was like 50 million. Well, the amount of money we spent on Dembele and Lascelles. So this is a must buy. We know Emerson again might have a future. He is not the finished article now. It's really such an important position in the way we play now.
Yeah, and bearing in mind, all right, yeah, he may also be young, but he's shown his quality in the Prem already. I'd say the only drawback with Lamptey, given the price tag as well, is that he's already had multiple serious hamstring issues. I'm pretty sure it's hamstring, but he's had multiple injury issues. When he does play, he looks unreal, but unfortunately, he might get injured. Regardless of the injuries, I think I'd still put him as like a top priority signing for us. So yeah, top category makes sense. Next category, and this is Jessie Lingard, who I think his contract ends up in the summer as well, right? Had an amazing loan spell at West Ham last year, and I think pretty much everyone in the footballing world thought he was going to make a permanent move there, considering how well it went. But I think the Ronaldo signing swayed him a little bit, so you can take a few more Instagram pics in the changing room. What do you think of Lingard?
I like him.
Okay.
I like him. Can't understand how he doesn't really get a look in at Man U. It's the West Ham Lingard that I'm looking at, not the Man U Lingard.
This is the problem. Like, are we guaranteed to get that West Ham Lingard again? I don't know, because he got a lot of goals in that period.
He did. That short period saved them a lot. He was top class when he was there.
I'm going to be totally honest with you. I'm not that interested in Lingard. I think he'd be a good squad player to have.
But he's not straight in the first.
If we're talking about how do we improve our team to get Champions League football, I don't think Lingard does that for us. I'm
trying to improve the first team.
Yeah.
For that reason, I'll back you. It annoys me a little bit because I wouldn't mind him, but
I know what you mean. Yeah,
I'll go with a not interested.
I think we have to put someone in not interested, so we'll have him there for now. But of course, like any of these guys,
no offense, Jesse, if you join, we'll love you.
If you join, don't worry. If you join, we'll back you. But like, Moving on to the next one, and this is a central midfielder in Weston McKennie, the final Juve player on the list. The American central midfielder, sort of box to box, effectively would be the player to play alongside Skip or Højbjerg or Winks in that middle two. Bearing in mind that you're pretty much directly comparing him to Kessie. I definitely know a lot more about Kessie, and I think Kessie probably would be a better player than McKennie. And of course, like AC Milan have been so good this year, especially in comparison to Juve. I don't see McKennie being a star player. I don't see McKennie necessarily instantly improving Spurs. No. It literally, again, it's just another sort of younger player. Could be really good, but jury's still out on that sort of thing. And like you said before, that's not really what we're looking for. We're looking for instant improvements to the team. I would say an average signing to maybe don't know enough.
No, average.
I think average, middle of the road.
Average wouldn't be too upset again, but I'm not jumping up and down.
He's not necessarily the player I'll target to sign. So I think average is like a fair.
We're holding the checkbook.
Down to our final two.
Two left.
And these are probably the two that we've been the most strongly linked with. And we're going to start with Adama Traore, who today got his first goal in what feels like a decade for Wolves. But he came off the bench, scored Wolves' third goal, but has been linked with the right wing-back spot.
Yeah, unusual, isn't it?
Spurs.
It's not in his current position.
He's trying to do a Moses 2.0, turning a winger into a wing-back. I want to hear your thoughts first. What do you think of Traore?
On his day is unbelievable.
Yes, I agree with that.
He just looks like a rugby player to me. He just runs through everyone.
It's the pure strength.
He tends to do that on back-to-back games each season and then goes quiet again.
Yeah.
So can he do that consistently? If you find a way that he does that game in, game out, week in, week out, that is a player worth having. Yeah, he might not get a lot of assists at the moment, but look at what he's working with. He's not working with Son and Kane, is he?
True.
He terrifies defences.
Massively.
Absolutely absolutely terrifies them. But the question is, George, would you prefer Traore or Lamptey? You can only have one.
When the whole news about Traore was coming out, I wasn't too keen on it because I was like, there are probably so many other options out there in terms of like actual natural wing backs. Because we don't know if Traore can defend on well or not. Yeah, he might have the strength, but that doesn't mean his positioning's great or this, that and the other. But he is cheaper. There's less risk with it. If he drives forward, he can create space for all our other players, which is great. What was it, Man United? They did that the other week where he bombed down the wing, could get there, but then so many of his passes were just straight at United players.
We've got Emerson for that.
Exactly. And the whole point of Conte's system is the wing backs pump in the crosses. They provide the crosses. They get in there. In an attempt to upgrade our crossing on Emerson, we're going to try and sign a player that isn't a natural wing back and isn't known for his assists. If you're comparing him to Lamptey, I'm picking Lamptey all day long. I'd say Traore good because it would be a good signing. Good. Like if he signs, so be it. Like I'll be like supportive of him. It's a good addition to the squad, but you'd prefer Lamptey over him. All right, we'll put him in good then.
Last one.
My favourite of all of them. Please, the one that we have to get the check out. And I would be so mad if he ends up going to a certain club. It is Dusan Vladimirovich, the young striker who's pretty much setting the whole of Europe alight right now with... The goals are just unbelievable. He just seems like such a natural finisher. He's got the build, the height, the strength. And I think a lot of people are criminally underrating his hold-up play. If you can have him and Kane up top. Vlahovic broke, I'm pretty sure, Ronaldo's record for the amount of goals in a calendar year in the Serie A, and he's only 21 years old.
So him and Kane with Son just behind, or the other way
around. Or Son up top with Kane behind. There's obviously a lot of risk with these young players that obviously might be popping on the scene, but this is his second season in a row now that he's proven to be top quality.
So what I said earlier about the young players at centre half, I don't think that applies quite the same with the forward. I think the forward line, you can have that younger person. Mbappe, Haaland, etc. You know, Michael Owen from years ago.
Some of them you just know that they've got it about them. Like he's got the goal scoring instinct 100% already.
Scoring in Serie A is not easy. No. Certainly.
He's just got to go straight to... He's my number one target.
So the trouble is, we're bigging him up now, and he'll be wearing a red shirt with white sleeves.
Don't touch wood. This ain't happening, please. The whole problem is, we're going to wait until the summer because he's going to be cheaper and blah, blah, blah. But I'm not being funny. We will need Champions League by then to really attract him to come to Spurs, because in that summer there are plenty of top teams that need strikers. So I think we need to spend the money now, get him in. He's an unbelievable goal scorer. Anyway, I think it just has to be the top one. Has
to be. Of all the players that we can see on the screen at the moment,
number one. All right,
he's the number one target.
Buy it now. Okay, well, so this is our tier list of all the sort of main targets that we've seen this January window so far. If you have a different opinion, please let us know. If you guys know more about them or have your own opinion of them, then please make sure to leave a comment. I will be doing another transfer video very soon, but it's going to be a little bit more in-depth and tactical regarding potential signings that we aren't necessarily looking at. I'm going to be highlighting the key positions in our formation that we need to improve on, and trying to suggest other players in those areas that
he's after a scouting job.
Hey, listen up, Spurs. You know you need help in that department. Thank you again, Dad, for coming on. I definitely want to do more of this with you, because talking to myself just isn't the same. It's nice actually having, you know, a conversation about this with someone. We'll see you whenever Arsenal decide to stop being bitches.